10 years more than after the occasions of the main film, the film starts with Jake Soyle portraying his unassuming and tranquil life as head of the Omaticaya tribe and raising a family with his significant other Neytiri, which incorporates his children Netayam and Lok and his little girl Tuk, his embraced girl Kiri, brought into the world from Elegance Augustine's sluggish Navi symbol, and a human kid named Bug, the child of Miles Quaritch, who was brought into the world on Pandora, however couldn't be moved to Earth in cryostasis as a baby. While Jake can acknowledge insect as took on child, Neytiri is incredulous of him given his human beginnings. In any case, every one of the kids blend and mingle well with one another, including Bug, whom Kiri is friendly with despite the fact that he is a human. Bug doesn't embrace his human legacy and feels more lean to Navi culture and customs. They carry on with an ordinary existence until one day they notice a weird star in the night sky. Sadly, they understand it's a RDA space transport with people getting back to Pandora to colonize it, raising another vitally working base once more, and making huge obliteration Pandora. Among the fresh debuts in the boat is Colonel Quaritch, who has been cloned into a Navi body and with his recollections transferred from before his demise. Accordingly, Quaritch can't recall his destruction on account of Jake yet is simply ready to remember the occasions before in his vindictive mission to take out Jake. To keep the RDA from taking advantage of Pandora once more, Jake drives an essential guerrilla activity against the RDA supply lines, debilitating them. In one of the tasks, Loku ignores Netayam, and is anxious to show what he can do as a Navi hero, attempts to help Jake in fight however is injured. Jake protects and teaches him to not imperil his own security by being foolish. That evening, while at the same time watching out for his injuries, Neytiri smoothly reminds Jake to be not excessively unforgiving with Lok, to which Jake communicates his anxiety as a dad for the security of his youngsters. In the interim, the retaliatory strike on the RDA supply lines doesn't agree with Quaritch, who starts a pursuit mission to kill Jake. During an energetic endeavor, Jake's youngsters alongside Bug investigate further into the rainforest. Unbeknownst to them, Quaritch and his group are in the area investigating the site where Quaritch finds his human remaining parts. An attentive Lok sees their presence and rapidly illuminates Jake. An encounter results and Quaritch's crew catches Jake's youngsters. Jake and Neytiri show up in time and free the majority of them. However, Bug is taken by Quaritch, who remembers him as his child. On board the boat, the RDA attempts to force data about Jake from insect whom rejects. Evolving technique, Quaritch tends to Bug as his child and furthermore to make sense of more about the Navi in return for his opportunity on his side. Despite the fact that unagreeable and ignorant about Quaritch's real mission, Bug shows Quaritch Navi culture. Quaritch is additionally effectively ready to tame an Ikran flying animal as his vehicle. Realizing the peril, insects' information on his whereabouts stances to their well-being and furthermore to keep away from another calamity, Jake persuades a hesitant Neytiri and his family to oust themselves from the Omaticaya group and retreat toward the eastern seaboard of Meetkaina, a coral reef island whose tribe and way of life is adjusted to Pandora's oceanic environment. Jake gives his main mantle to his replacement and passes on altogether to Meetkaina. Once showed up, they are welcomed by the tribe boss Tanawari and his significant other Ronal, who is dubious of them at first. Nonetheless, Jake makes sense of their circumstance and they are consented to remain and given cover. Despite the fact that a few tribesmen criticize Jake and his youngsters for their hereditary human legacy, the family learns the methods of the reef individuals, gaining the appreciation of them. Kiri is entranced with the oceanic existence of Meetkaina and fosters an otherworldly bond with the ocean and its animals, while Lok gets to know Tsireya, the little girl of family boss Tanawari and his better half Ronal.
While adjusting to their new climate, Lok gets into a battle with Tsireya's sibling Aonung when he pokes an unrefined fun at Kiri and him of their blended human genealogy. Jake reprimands his child for his way of behaving. At Jake's demand, Lok gets back to apologize to Aonung and his companions. Be that as it may, they tempt him to an excursion into the domain of a risky ocean hunter, the Akula, and leave him abandoned in retribution. The Akula attempts to go after Lok. Nonetheless, Lok is saved by and becomes friends with Payakan, a Tulkun, a keen and pacifistic cetacean species whom the Neytiri think about their otherworldly family. Loke can speak with Payakan through marking and eliminates an old spearhead from the monster's right balance. Upon his revisitation of Neytiri, Boss Danawari, who became mindful of Aonung's deceiving of Loke, requests that the previous apologize to Loke. In any case, Loke assumes their fault himself, winning Aonung's fellowship. He is likewise informed that Payakan is an outsider among his species. In the interim, out traveling to a branch off of the Tree of Spirits, Kiri joins with it to meet her mom, however experiences a savage seizure. She is recuperated by Rona, however when Jake calls Norm Spellman and Max Patel for help, Quaritch can follow them to the archipelago where the reef individuals reside. Carrying Insect with him, he seized a whaling vessel which is hunting Tulkuns to reap their mind compounds for making hostile to maturing cures. Quaritch starts to ruthlessly scrutinize the native clans about Jake's area, bombing that. He arranges the whaling team to wantonly kill the Tulkuns to draw Jake out. Loke intellectually interfaces with Payakan and discovers that the Tulkun was projected out on the grounds that he conflicted with the methods of his species, and went after the whalers who killed his mom. At the point when the Neytiri learn of the Tulkun butchers, Loke takes off to caution Payakan, trailed by his kin, Tsireya and Aonung. They find Payakan being pursued by the whalers, and Loke, Kiri and Tukar caught by Quaritch. With their youngsters in harm's way, Jake, Neytiri and the Neytiri set off to face the people. Quaritch powers Jake to give up, yet seeing his spirit sibling jeopardized, Payakan assaults the whalers, setting off a battle which kills the majority of the team and basically harms the vessel, making it sink. Netham salvages Loke and Insect, yet is lethally shot. Jake faces Quaritch, who involves Kiri as a prisoner. At the point when Neytiri does likewise with Bug, Quaritch at first denies his child, yet stops when Neytiri cuts Insect on the chest. Jake, Quaritch, Neytiri and Tuk end up caught inside the sinking vessel. Jake chokes Quaritch into obviousness and is protected by Loke and Payakan, and Kiri brings ocean animals to help her save Neytiri and Tuk. Bug finds and saves Quaritch, yet passes on him because of his brutality towards the Na'vi and putting his objective to kill Jake's family over being his dad and turning into a decent man, driving him back to rejoin Jake's loved ones. After Netham's memorial service, Jake and his family choose to forever remain with the Neytiri.